Coming up on today's episode of Airborne-NextGen. NASA head speaks out on damning Starliner mission report. U.S. Air Force drone lifting challenge. Drone light show highlights China's Spring Festival Gala. And I'm your host, Cam Walton. Welcome to Aero-News Network's Airborne-NextGen program, a weekly news program covering the next generation of flight from electric power to vertical lift, uncrewed vehicles, and everything in between. Let's get into today's stories. NASA head speaks on damning Starliner mission report. NASA Administrator Jared Isaacman sent out a long and stunning honest letter to employees after receiving a very long, very pointed list of findings from the Starship Crewed Flight Test incident in June 2024, which infamously left 2 astronauts stuck on the International Space Station for 278 days longer than planned. The spacecraft at the center of the mishap, the Boeing Starliner, had already endured a rough past. So by the time the Starliner launched, astronauts Butch Wilmore and Sonny Williams in June 2024, questions lingered. More than 30 launch attempts had created schedule pressure, which Isaacman described as decision fatigue. It wasn't until serious problems were encountered while docking to the ISS that Boeing decided to cut its losses and send Starliner home, uncrewed. The astronauts ultimately returned home aboard a SpaceX Crew Dragon in March 2025. That decision and the piles of debate surrounding it exposed the non-technical problems involved. According to the report, disagreements over crew return options and program viability developed into unprofessional conduct, leaving safety to become a background item. With the nitty-gritty out in the open, NASA Administrator Jared Isaacman, despite not being in office at the time of the mission, has decided to be the first to take some accountability. He acknowledged that NASA's limited-touch commercial contract posture left the agency without enough to confidently certify a human-rated spacecraft. After the break, NASA's Perseverance rover can now determine Mars' location.
Are you ready to ace your FAA drone pilot knowledge test, get your remote pilot certificate, and start earning money? Well, flying a drone is a great tool that can open up new business opportunities for anyone. Realtor, insurance adjuster, videographer, or commercial weekend drone warrior, you need to fly legally. Whether you're pursuing your initial Part 107 remote pilot certificate or you need a renewal, King Schools has a course just for you. So start learning today at kingschools.com.
Welcome back. Now let's get to some shorter stories with our NextGen Minute. NASA's Perseverance rover can now determine Mars' location. Even with no GPS on Mars, the Perseverance rover can now use new technology developed by NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, JPL, that enables it to figure out its whereabouts without calling humans for help. Dubbed Mars Global Localization, the technology features an algorithm that rapidly compares panoramic images from the rover's navigation cameras with onboard orbital terrain maps. The algorithm takes about 2 minutes to pinpoint the rover's location within some 10 inches. Kansas to develop unmanned aerial systems for agricultural use. The Kansas Department of Agriculture has awarded $3 million to Kelly Harris Unmanned Systems in Seneca, Kansas, to develop beyond visual line of sight unmanned aerial systems technology for agricultural use. The Kansas legislature approved the funding during the 2025 legislative session to help push the development of agricultural and aviation technology in Kansas. Grace Hodge with the Office of the Governor said the move is seen as ideal given Kansas's workforce, strong manufacturing base, and leadership role in precision agriculture and aviation technology. Radio altimeter upgrade cost concerns. 2 aviation groups have expressed concerns about the potential cost of aircraft having to replace radio altimeters if the FCC moves forward with a proposed plan to expand certain radio frequencies. NBAA and NATA are urging the FCC to employ its Emergency Technologies Framework to Part 91 and Part 135 operators to ensure business aviation safety, equitable cost allocation, and the orderly development of upper C-band wireless services. The FCC has proposed expansion into the upper C-band, which could interfere with aircraft radio altimeters. FBI steps up counter-drone training to curb World Cup chaos. The FBI is racing the clock to upgrade its counter-drone strategy before the FIFA World Cup lands in the U.S., aiming to train roughly 60 state and local officers on drone mitigation equipment by June. This hopes to prepare the 11 U.S. host cities for the chaos that inevitably comes with what organizers call the largest sporting event in history. The training runs through the National Counter Unmanned Aircraft Systems Training Center at Redstone Arsenal, which opened its doors last year thanks to a presidential directive on restoring American airspace sovereignty. Well, that's it for today's NextGen Minute. Now let's get to the rest of the news. U.S. Air Force Drone Lifting Challenge. The Air Force will host the DARPA Lift Challenge being run by the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, DARPA, from August 2nd to 9th, 2026 at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. The event challenges innovators to build unmanned aircraft or drones with revolutionary payload capabilities. Currently, drones are typically limited to carrying a payload that is only equal to or less than their own weight. To break this barrier, DARPA is offering $6.5 million in prizes to university students, inventors, and companies who can design and fly a drone weighing 55 pounds or less, with the goal of carrying 4 times its own weight, 220 pounds or more, over a demanding 5 nautical mile course. A breakthrough in this payload-to-weight ratio would unlock a new era of possibilities for military and civilian applications, from disaster response and supply delivery to infrastructure inspection. Quote, "The DARPA Lift Challenge is more than a competition. It is a chance for competitors to advance a critical technology that can improve many aspects of our society. And it's an invitation to the American public to witness a potential leap in aviation," end quote, said DARPA Lift Challenge Program Manager Philip Smith. After these messages, Drone Light Show highlights China's Spring Festival Gala.
The legendary BD-4C program is building an exciting future for those who want a rugged 4-seat family flyer with a proven history. The SureWings program produces a complete kit and builder assist program that gives you everything you need to be flying a BD-4CS in record time. For conventional kit builders, BD Aviation has parts, partial kits, and full kits for the 190-mile-per-hour BD-4C that has logged thousands of hours. Visit SureWings.com and BDAviation.com for more details.
Backed by over 30 years of Aero-News reporting, PropWash is the daily email newsletter that delivers top aviation headlines to your inbox. Expert reporting, clean facts, and real insight. Start your day with aviation news you can trust. Subscribe to PropWash today at aero-news.net.
Welcome back. Drone Light Show highlights China's Spring Festival Gala. EHang Holdings Limited provided a dual-feature aerial performance at the Hefei sub-venue of the 2026 China Media Group, CMG, Spring Festival Gala. The performance featured a formation of 16 EH-216-S pilotless human-carrying eVTOL aircraft alongside a drone light show involving 22,580 NextGen GhostDrone, GD 4.0 manned aerial vehicles. The performance was supported by industry-leading flight safety and fleet orchestration technologies, offering Lunar New Year wishes to a global audience. Among the highlights, the 22,580 GD 4.0 formation drones set a world record, earning the Guinness World Record title for, quote, "the most multi-rotor drones airborne simultaneously from a single computer," end quote. The coordinated flight of 16 EH-216-S aircraft also marked the largest simultaneous public flight of pilotless human-carrying eVTOL aircraft to date. The synchronized flight of 16 aircraft at the Spring Festival Gala demonstrated EHang's industry technological innovation sectors, including cluster command and control system, algorithmic control, multi-scenario adaptive flight, and professional service support. the EH216-S is claimed to be the world's first pilotless human-carrying eVTOL aircraft to obtain type certificate, production certificate, and standard airworthiness certificate from the Civil Aviation Administration of China, and is currently conducting trial operations at Luogong Park. And that's our show for today. You can catch episodes of Airborne on YouTube, Roku, or Fire TV. Just search for Aero-News or Airborne. And don't forget to follow us on social media. Thanks for watching.